The fallout now from that explosive Senate report on torture in the CIA. This document, more than 500 pages long, details the mistreatment of prisoners after 9/11, claims the agency misled the public and the president, but former officials are fighting back, saying the program did provide life-saving intelligence. ABC's Martha Raddatz tracking all the developments from Washington. Martha, officials so worried this report would inspire new threats against Americans. Are we seeing anything yet?
Well, George, U.S. military and diplomatic facilities overseas are on alert this morning for violent reactions, with some online jihadist calls for retaliation. And overnight, a State Department warning for Americans in Thailand and Afghanistan in particular, where some of the torture took place, to be on alert to anti-American hostility because of this graphic report.
In secret CIA black sites across the globe, American interrogators punched, shackled, dragged, and nearly drowned al-Qaeda operatives. One even left to die from hypothermia while chained to a wall.
The interrogations of CIA detainees were absolutely brutal, far worse than the CIA represented them to policymakers and others.
The very first detainee, Abu Zubaydah, believed then to be a key al-Qaeda operative, was waterboarded 83 times. In one session, he became completely unresponsive, with bubbles rising through his open, full mouth. Kept in a coffin-sized box for 11 days, he was told the only way he would leave the facility was in a coffin. The Senate report concluding that despite the extreme interrogation, Zubaydah had no new information about future plots. In fact, Senate investigators said that torture did not play a part in getting any useful information, including finding Osama bin Laden. But CIA pushback was swift. Director John Brennan saying the harsh interrogations helped thwart attack plans, capture terrorists, and save lives.
And three former CIA directors in the Wall Street Journal this morning calling the Senate report flat out wrong, a partisan attack on the agency that has done the most to protect America after the 9/11 attacks. George?
They are fighting back hard. Okay, Martha, thanks very much. Now to President Obama. He chose not to make a public speech about the report, but he did address the subject last night in an interview with Jorge Ramos of Fusion.
Is this the responsibility of President Bush? Did he betray American values?
Well, as I've said before, after 9/11, I don't think that you can know what it feels like to know that America's gone through the worst attack on the continental United States in its history. And you're uncertain as to what's coming next. So there were a lot of people who did a lot of things right and worked very hard to keep us safe. But I think that any fair-minded person looking at this would say that some terrible mistakes were made.
Let's bring in John Karl for more on this. And John, the president also banned torture, says we will not do this going forward. It's been banned since 2006 as well. But the president walking a very, very fine line on this whole subject.
Sure, George. The White House is deeply conflicted on this. On one hand, you have the president's CIA director, as you heard Martha report, say that the program may have been harsh, but it worked. It saved lives. It helped in the hunt for bin Laden. It thwarted attacks. The White House, and I have pressed them repeatedly on this, does not say that. The White House will only say that the president believes that even if these tactics did work, and that's an open question, it wasn't worth it.
But the president's Justice Department has made it clear they will not prosecute CIA officials looking backward.
That's right. It's been completely investigated. They say the Justice Department has decided not to prosecute.
Okay, John Karl, thanks very much.